The stops have been announced. 5th season of Rogers Hometown Hockey 2018-19. It's The Lead, brought to you by storytelling.
They do it well.
Hometown Hockey hosts MacLean and Tara Slone will join us in studio momentarily as they get set to embark on another cross-country tour, bringing you stories from hockey communities all across Canada with a professional hockey game thrown in. The tour will start in Kitchener, Ontario, the weekend of October 5th to 7th, which, by the way, coincides with Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Should be fun. For a full schedule of the stops and plenty more info, visit sportsnet.ca. Here's a sneak peek at the season to come.
Growing up here, we were playing hockey in the bay over there, and the bridge you cross coming into Parry Sound up the river a little bit. We used to have a rink up there, and you pass 50 school, and we used to have a rink there where we played. And then in the summertime, we'd go out there fishing, and we'd go up the river fishing. So we were on the water all the time, and it's a Georgian Bay, 30,000 miles, a beautiful area. It's just a wonderful town.
London, I love this place. I think I will live here my whole life. I'll never move away.
From Nepean, Ontario, Steve Eisen.
Canes feeling pretty confident now. 4-goal lead for their powerful Armada. Maybe more. It is more.
Dustin Penner, the pride of Winkler.
Just a taste of what you can expect on season 5. Season 5?
I know.
I'm not, that's right. I got that right?
That's correct.
Season 5, they look just like they did before season 1. Tara Slone, MacLean, get ready for 25 stops over the next hockey season. It all begins October the 7th in Kitchener. Oktoberfest weekend.
Yes.
Who the hell scheduled that?
Somebody brilliant.
Is it brilliant or highly dangerous? Because I've never done an Oktoberfest. I'm big on pacing yourself, McAuliffe, as you know.
So the first stop being Oktoberfest.
That doesn't seem like we're pacing ourselves, but it sounds like it's going to be a hell of a weekend.
You know, it's not just Oktoberfest. It's the 50th anniversary of Oktoberfest in Kitchener-Waterloo. So it's
Oh, that.
we're going to start it with a bang. We actually were there a few years ago, and we managed to survive it. So it's a what?
But I had to be in the parade. I had duties on the Monday, so
okay.
that kind of kept us in check. Actually, the Sunday night is a quiet night. Of all the nights during Oktoberfest, Sunday evening is the one that everybody thinks enough. But I worry about us this time around. We get to tap the keg, and as we were saying off air, Sid and Tim, we have also St. Paddy's Day. We're on the air with the Rogers Hometown Hockey in Lethbridge, so that's 2 potential problems.
Is that how you mark the calendar? Potential problem?
I've been kidding along the day.
There's a bunch of PPs on the schedule.
Now that they've, we got 25 stops, 30,000 kilometers, but now that they've legalized pot, we can take the high road. So maybe we won't be as inclined to go crazy on St. Paddy's and Oktoberfest, but who knows what's in store. One thing we will make up for it by
Where
going
is
to
that high road? Never
two
mind.
beautiful Mennonite visits, community visits are Winkler and Steinbach. When we did Hockey Day in Canada in Winkler, it was completely dry. You can, I think, get a beer in Winkler now, but at the time we did Hockey Day, it was a dry town, and I went on Winnipeg television and complained about, what are they, because they had us in a Iqaluit the previous year. I said, there seems to be a trend here that they're moving me and the show away from alcohol. And bless their hearts, the firefighters of Morden, Manitoba came, sirens, lights
they did not.
into town, delivering beer and liquor for me and Don Sherry.
Whoever thought that?
Always heroes.
Well played.
Always heroes.
Sometimes heroes don't wear capes.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
sometimes they do as well.
Sometimes they do.
So let's, 5th year we talked about it. You're nearing the 100th episode. I know you as both very thoughtful people. What have you learned most along these crisscross trips across Canada, kind of in the land of hockey? I'll start with you, Tara. What have you learned from this experience? Because it's got to be, I don't want to over-dramatize it, but it's got to be like life-altering to see all
It
this.
is. It is. I mean, I always say it's the most privileged way to see this country. We feel so profoundly fortunate to be able to do this. I think it's two things in one. You know, as much as we highlight the uniqueness of all of these communities, what it really serves to do is to highlight the universality of these common experiences, and the lens through which we show the country this is hockey. But you know, these are overcoming obstacles and challenges and illnesses and doing things that nobody thought was possible, and that is an experience that everybody can resonate with. And so that's, you know, and we are, as purported, Canadians are incredibly kind and thoughtful.
Right.
And hockey loving. And Tim, you know, your father will be in Kitchener right away, so your dad played there, and it's a big part of your background. I learned when I was there the last time that Mike Hoffman's father Todd taught him to, you know, stick handle in the bedroom, and learn that if you ever hit the baseboard, I'm taking the stick away. So you can play in your room, you know, and practice all you want, but the minute you lose control of that little golf ball, you're done, Mike. And he became a wonderful puck handler. And you know, those little tales that we get, as you like to say, we've been able to make the country small.
Right.
And God, it's a lovely thing to do. It's and not just that. You know, the very first show we did at London was the story of Ian Jenkins, a prospect for the London Knights who perished in a car crash, and tough story, right? So we get to be inclusive. You know, Tara was really, I give Tara a lot of the credit. That was a great moment. That's Canmore. So as an example of, and there's Darcy and what looks like Moose Jaw. Would it be?
Oh, like I
here
can't
we go.
remember yesterday.
Darcy made a few stops along the way.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So, well, when we were in Canmore, as an example, when I skate up to camera with an Eagles crest, the Canmore Eagles, Andrew Milne's a good friend of Tara's husband, Joe, from St. Albert, and he's coaching the Eagles, and they had a great young player named Patrick Steele who died. He just died of sudden death, you know, almost like a syndrome. Nobody knew quite what happened. His brother, Sam Steele, great Regina Pat, will play for the Anaheim Ducks this year. So that family, you know, the boys were frickin' frack. They were beautiful together. All the photos would break your heart, right? Somehow Sam got through that. The family got through that, and it's neat to show those stories.
Yeah.
And considering what this year has been like, going back to April, just the reminder of what hockey means to communities, regardless of size, in this country. It's
a lot of people kind of saw
absolutely
how close knit it was.
And this kind of tour is it's a season-long reminder of that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we really experienced that last year. We were in Williams Lake, British Columbia, and they, well, like unfortunately what is happening right now, again in BC with the wildfires, they had the worst year they'd ever had the previous year, and Williams Lake themselves had had a citywide evacuation, which is unprecedented. And, you know, people were still quite traumatized by it. And so to offer the opportunity and the space for people to commune and get together, have fun, celebrate their achievements, getting through it all, but just be in the same place at the same time together means a great deal. And we expect that, you know, a lot through our stops this year.
And then the next week we went to Kamloops. So the Swetmik First Nation, which is Williams Lake and Kamloops, that's Tanya Willer designed. She has beautiful Indigenous art, and obviously we sported on our Rogers Hometown hockey jacket this year. Tanya was great, opened the show with a really, you know, fierce kind of message about truth and reconciliation and about her experience. And that's what we've learned too, right? Of course it's about inclusion, and it's just you know, again, as I was saying, I started to say, Tara, you know, wanted to do the land acknowledgements. So last year, before show one in Niagara Falls, went down to see Chief Stacey LaForme at the Mississaugas of the New Credit, and he outfitted me with little tobacco pouches that we could present all along the way. We got to do Ethan Bear of the Edmonton Oilers. We stopped in Saskatchewan, Ochapowace First Nation. It's great. It really shows a lot more about our history than maybe we previously saw.
All right, I'm glad you brought up the inclusion part, because I grew up in a hockey family. You mentioned it. My dad played for the Kitchener-Waterloo Dutchmen after St. Mike's. He went on to play in Windsor with the Bulldogs, win a senior A title. I'm the youngest of 4 boys. They all played AAA or Junior B hockey. I spent more time in a rink than maybe any person on planet Earth until I was about 18 years old, and escaped for a little bit. But I also cover basketball. I cover football in this role. And sometimes people come to me and feel like hockey can be insular at times. Have you guys seen the other side of that, or have you been able to maybe even open up doors where it's not as insular as it once was?
Well, I think we see all kinds of examples of people reaching out to make it less so. But yeah, I mean, the truth of it is hockey is an expensive sport to play. And so that makes it really difficult for people. And it's much easier to have a soccer ball in front of you and just work with that. But, you know, we see a lot of examples of people reaching out to communities who may not be able to sustain a hockey team and provide them with equipment. But I think most of all, again, it is about the arena and the meeting place. And so, and the reaching out and showing girls that there are women and girls playing hockey, and showing people from First Nations and people of color who are actually doing it. And so you can watch a show and a game and see yourself in there, or a broadcast. And that's hugely important.
Tara and Joe's Audrey is 9. If Audrey chooses dance, it's going to be a lot of money. You know, it's expensive to do anything that you. Yes. So I think a little bit, Tim, what happens is, you know, if it's insular at all, it's because sometimes people choose not to be the hockey follower. You know, like music. For me, trying to have contribution to picking out the song to open a telecast now, I feel out of it because hip hop is kind of, you know, taken over a little bit. And I don't know Drake as well as I should, so I can't pick a song the way I should. And I think lots of people might choose to listen to heavy metal just so they're not mainstream pop, you know. That happens a lot. You know, it's just a matter of a choice made so that you feel unique. But that's why the show has to be more than a hockey game. It has to be, it's like you talk on this show all the time. You know, if you're going to go off onto an ethical rant, so be it, because that connects you as a human being. All we really want in this industry is companionship. You know, both listening to radio and being active in your television viewing, it's about companionship. It's about seeing someone else in the crosshairs and how would I do. So we get to do that. We get to make the TV show a bit about hockey for sure, and it's a very comfortable. I said it's like looking out at the ocean. It's just there, and it's, you know, it's hockey, so it feels comfortable wafting up on the screen. But then the real nuts and bolts of Sunday night has to be about people and issues.
You guys do a tremendous job on that front. There is the hockey element, though.
Oh, usually, yeah.
We had some things happen this offseason. It is Blackhawks Leafs on that opening night in Kitchener at Oktoberfest.
Leafs make some changes or something?
I heard of a couple.
Are you getting to something here?
Oh, the big one, Leo Komarov's not around. That's the big move the Leafs made. What are both of you most excited about heading into the season?
I mean, we feature a Canadian matchup, or at least one Canadian team in 24 of our games out of 25. We do have our 25th features Vegas, so we'll take them as sort of honorary Islanders, maybe. Can we do that?
Even Arizona, the team they're playing, a lot of Canadians, right, in Arizona. So.
But we have, what do we have? 5 Flames games, 5 Jets games. We have 4 Leafs games this year. So, you know, those are the teams that I think excite us. 4 Oilers games. So, you know, we're excited about all the Canadian teams, so that's fun for us.
You know, what's interesting about Komarov leaving, the one, everybody with the Leafs, I think, talks about their defense. You know, is Morgan Riley, Jake Gardiner, are they ready? You know, Liljegren coming down the pike. But I look at what tipped it for Washington in the end, and it's surprising because Vegas handled tough teams in Los Angeles and Winnipeg. But when Tom Wilson hit Jonathan Marchessault in the second game and he crushed him, and not only that, he took the puck, flipped around, and fed it to Ovechkin for a one-timer from 55 feet. It was like the dart, right? Game over. They were tough. Washington was physically hard to play. Between T.J. Oshie's a bull, Ovechkin's a bull, Devontae Smith-Pelly is a bull, Tom Wilson is a bull, John Carlson is, Orpik, Niskanen. They were mean. Now, Toronto, will they have enough of that spit? You know, Edmonton got caught trying to find it. You know, they went and got Milan Lucic because they needed, can't just have Connor McDavid and some of those nifty guys exposed, right? So that'll be a question for the Leafs. That would be my only question because they'll be a joy to watch. And to get John Tavares is all summer I normally hear, you know, what's Tara like or how's your buddy Don? And not this summer. It was, you know, how do you think the Leafs will do with John Tavares? People are really stoked.
It's funny. It almost seems like the.
Is that a hip hop lyric?
Dude.
It seems like the transition is there though in hockey right now, where it's either you're one side or the other, and the Leafs said, you know what, you play that game, we'll play our game. And it's going to be interesting to see how they match up specifically, and how all these other teams decide to choose which side they're on. Because you're right, Washington was a skill team forever, Now they become Bulls and they win a cup.
And they've got expectation, right? So the big thing is, joy, right? How is your? I think John Tavares has always been a great team player. So he'll be a great leader for them. Captain, I don't know if you've debated. I'm sorry if I've missed your captain show. Have you had it?
I'm sure it'll surface at some point.
Yeah. That's a
Sure
big
it'll
thing.
surface.
Everywhere I go is who's going to be the
Who's gonna be
captain. It's
captain,
between Morgan Riley and Austin Matthews and John Tavares, according to the, public. I do think that Matthews' joy was kind of sapped a little at the tail end last year, and I just saw him at Bobby Orr's golf tournament. He seems in great cheer, and talked to Boris Dorozhenko, is the Ukrainian hockey guru who's developed a lot of great players. Tyson Barrie in Colorado, Jake DeBrusk, Boston Bruins, skated with Austin Matthews at the same camp, and he said that Matthews, sorry Tara, he said, look, this guy got away from hockey during the summers, played other sports, but he was a fiend for knee hockey, mini sticks, just as Connor McDavid was. Connor McDavid and Sam Bennett of the Calgary Flames grew up together in Newmarket area, and they would play every day, and they'd come out of the two separate bedrooms, play the Canadian anthem, and go at it with mini sticks, and that's why their eye hand is brilliant. Austin, Dorozhenko said, we used to line them up, six guys behind the goal line, and they'd go down the ice, do the drill. Austin always was first. He had to be first. And then he'd race back and join the line and go third, and then race back, join the line, and go sixth. That's how fixated he was on practicing. He loved to practice. So if he's ready, and he should be, that's just one more element of wow.
The biggest question in all that is the greatest surface to play knee hockey or mini sticks on, hardwood floors or carpet, because carpet you can snap the wrist shot off real
But
nice.
hardwood floors, although
Hardwood floors,
it'll
it
piss
slides
off
all
your
the
folks a
time.
lot more, is more realistic.
Right, but you're usually in a hotel when you're playing mini sticks
True.
and causing the real ruckus.
I played in the basement with just a regular stick. I played mini stick goal in my bed, but yeah.
Wait a second.
I really could go further, but I won't. We're trying to be a
Time to
family-friendly. But I used to hit the ducts. I would always wind up and hit the ducts, and my mother would keep it down there.
No dryer, didn't open the dryer and try and
Anyway.
Before we let you go,
we peppered the dryer. That's what I found.
pepper the dryer. Yeah. I'm going to try and segue off what just happened.
I didn't make it in hockey, but I did make it in getting yelled at. I made
We're all
coach's
pretty good
corner.
at that.
Yeah.
We're all
And
pretty
we're
good
still
at that.
doing it right now.
By the way, how's the Sportsnet mobile studio holding up? Because in year one, I'm sure it had that new Sportsnet mobile studio smell. But year 5 of the Cross Canada tour, is it smell funky? Is it
No.
time for a new studio?
No.
What shape is it in?
There is no funk in that studio.
Really?
Unless we're dancing, and then it's super funky.
Hey-o.
No, you know what? I'm good. Here's the time to give props to Rick Lynch. We call him Big Rig Rick, and he has been in charge of Big Red since the very beginning, and he keeps it in tip-top shape. All right. So there's all these little tune-ups that we walk into on day one, but no.
It's part of the family.
Zero
It's part of the
funk.
furniture.
Oh yeah, it's
That crew is part of the family, and not to get silly, but yeah, There's two
it is a
Maltese
monster everywhere.
crew members here, so we have a very special gang, the combination of Rogers hires and SDI hires, and most of the crew have been around since year one. We had 6 who've done all 100 shows, but Tom Fisher, Captain Canada, and a bunch of our gang who just love to come back, and as you say, Tara, it's a privilege to see the country the way we do, but it's hard work. When you see them tearing down on minus 40 wind chill nights.
Kudos, guys.
Yeah.
with smiles on their faces.
Kudos.
Minus 40.
Always.
Malta, not yet a stop on the Rogers Hometown Hockey
Not
Tour
yet.
presented
We'll
by
try.
Scotiabank. 25 communities, starts October 5th to 7th. As you guys mentioned, 50th anniversary of Oktoberfest. We wish you the best in Kitchener and Waterloo on
Dankeschön.
that day. But always a pleasure when you guys stop by and
Thanks,
tell
guys.
stories. We really appreciate it each and every year and look forward to it. Ron MacLean.
Thank you both.
Tara Slone.
Thank you guys.
Oktoberfest first weekend.